Woman who lied about being great and drove three men to try to off themselves is jailed. Let's talk about it. Hey, 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 Charisma here. Welcome to the Charisma Daily Show. If you're new around here, hello. Today we're talking about the woman who lied about being great and drove three men to try to off themselves. However, the good news is that she is jailed. And we're gonna get into this. This is a story that happened in the UK, and I'm going to share with you some of the details. And so let's get into it. Let's talk about this situation. Now, yesterday I talked about the Jonathan Majors situation and what's happening there. And this story takes it to the next level. So, three men who were falsely accused of rape by Eleanor Williams told the court the allegation caused them to attempt to take their own lives. She was jailed today. So, this was back on the 14th of March this year. A woman who lied about being groomed by a gang of Asian sex traffickers had been jailed for 8.5 years. Eleanor, 22, published pictures of her injuries and account of being groomed, trafficked, and beaten on Facebook in May 2022, in a post which was shared more than 100,000 times. Now, her posts sparked demonstrations in her hometown of Borough in Furness, Cumbria, and led to former English Defence League founder Tommy Robinson visiting the town to investigate the claims. Williams made serious sexual allegations against a large number of men between 2016 and 2020 and had fabricated evidence. She was discovered with hammer injuries to her legs, and one of her fingers was partially severed. But CCTV video shows Williams in a Tesco store buying the weapon. So let's watch that video now. Okay, where did it go? Okay, we'll take a look at that after. So here is Williams. This is a picture of Williams before her injuries. And I'll continue. It says, sentencing Williams, Judge Robert Atham said, we are aware that the sex trafficking of young females does occur. There is a risk genuine victims will be put off reporting and fear they will not be relieved. I am sure someone investigating will do everything they can to support them. He added, it is troubling. She appears to show no remorse. Yesterday, three men who was falsely accused by Williams told the court the allegations caused them to attempt to take their own lives. Judge Robert Atham said Williams made serious sexual allegations against a large number of men between 2016 and 2020 and had fabricated evidence. So here's a picture of Eleanor purchasing the said weapon that she said was used on her. So she was caught on camera purchasing the hammer. The judge said Williams made allegations that Mohammed Razam tried to sell her in Amsterdam and took her to Ibiza to work as a prostitute. He said Razam had never really met Williams, had nothing to do with trafficking, and barely knew her. During the trial, Williams' sister gave evidence saying they did take a trip together to Amsterdam and they were never apart. Williams wrote a letter to the judge ahead of being jailed saying she made some mistakes, that she was young and confused. The letter made no mention of the false allegations, but says she is devastated at the consequences that her Facebook post has had on her community. So here is Williams after the self inflicted injuries to her face. So there is some, just warning you here, it's very graphic. Mr. Razam said in the victim's impact statement that he tried to take his own life after being arrested and fears there was a racial element to his ordeal. He said, I feel there has been a racial element and it has had an effect on the wider Asian community. I have not done anything to anyone to deserve this. 2 weeks after my arrest, I attempted to take my own life. I still have the scars to this day. That's such a sad situation. There she is purchasing the hammer. Jordan Trentgrove who was charged and remanded in custody after the allegations, say that this will be forever, he'd be forever haunted by the time at HMP Preston. He also described how the word rapist was spray painted on his house and his mom left home because she didn't feel safe. He added that things calmed down after the charges were dropped until Williams' Facebook post went viral, leading him to try and take his own life. He said, at one stage, I attempted to take my own life. I have been diagnosed with complex PTSD. Wow. He continued, this will stay with me for life, but I cannot get help, but I can get help to move forward. Olive Gardner said his chance encounter with Williams in Preston led him to being sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Mr. Gardner, who was accused of rape after he met Williams in the city center, said it was a real shock when he was contacted by Cumbria police and told of her claims. He said it was a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. In his statement, he said he tried to end his life before being sectioned. Cameron Bibby was also accused of rape in 2017, said the allegations ruined his life. Oh my goodness. In a statement read out in court, the Justice for Ellie stickers on my neighbors' houses and cars intimidated me. I lost most of my friends, and some members of my family shared Ellie's posts. I have applied for over 30 jobs, but I never get an interview. I think this is because of my name being tarnished. Statements from a number of women who Williams claims were trafficked were also submitted to the court but not read out. Each woman claimed they were false and explained how it affected them. Yesterday, the woman was shown video of English Defense League founder Tommy Robinson attending protests at Hollywood retail bar in Barrow in May 2020. In a statement, Superintendent Matthew Pearson said after Williams' Facebook post was unprecedented outcry on social media within the town of Barrow. So it goes on and on and on to talk about how this woman single-handedly destroyed 3 men's lives with her accusations of rape and more. And now she gets to pay for it. She will be spending 8 years in prison for lying on the oath, for making these allegations up, for ruining 3 men's lives because their life would never be the same. How can they come back from this? This was plastered all over social media. This post went viral. We had people, protesting and creating this movement for this so-called victim. Yet she was not a victim. She was the predator and the perpetrator. This has to stop. This really, really has to stop. Like, did she do this just for fame? For what? Validation, attention? This is sick. This is a demonic, demented individual who needs to be in jail, in my opinion, for longer than 8 years. Because when she comes out, she's probably going to do the same thing. She not only ruined these three men's lives, but also the other fake victims that she dragged into this this farce. It's just like I don't even have the words to describe this. It's just awful, and this is not the first time that a woman has done this. This is probably one of the first time I'm hearing that she's actually being charged and actually going to jail for her accusations and damaging a man's life or men's life with her lies. This has to stop. This really has to stop. I've said what I said, and that's all I'm going to say about that. As always, I want to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. What do you think about this case? Do you think 8 years was enough? Do you think this is going to stop other women from lying about men and falsely accusing them of raping or assaulting or some hideous crime? Do you think it's going to help stop? Do you think that we need to see more women going to jail for lying against men and ruining their lives? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'd love to hear, what you think. Tell me below in the comments whether you are listening to this, watching this on YouTube, or on one of the podcast streams. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, remember, people don't have to love you. They don't even have to like you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. Take care and bye for now.